Is that how the song goes?
Yeah.
What kind of kid was I?
It varied according to the age. So obviously the older that you got, the more serious you got. But younger, you were very carefree. You wanted to be outside all the time. I remember you sitting in the sandbox at Alma and Bubba's with the play set. And I had to put in a beach umbrella out there or else you were going to get sunburned. So you just loved to be outside. But I think as you got older, that's when your intellect really started to show. And that's when you became a little more serious and you started to really like want to know how the world worked and how things worked. You were mainly as like a young child to transitioning into a teenager.
Yeah.
Just as you started to progress, growing from like 8, 9, 10 into 13, 14. So I think that's when you really started to become more quiet. And you always wanted to know everything about everything. Why? But why? Why? Why do I have to do it? But why? But why does this do it? And that, but your why was different than just a normal why, right? When kids are little, it's, well, why? And then the parent gives an answer, and then it's, why? And the parent gets it, and it keeps going. Yours was, well, why is it like that? Well, why does it do that? But that's really hard when you're a parent. Just as you got older, your maturity just went from like the normal group to like up here. You just matured really fast, younger. I think your peak was probably your freshman year. We gotta get these grades. I gotta be on the B or A honor roll. I have to be at this level. And I think my biggest too when you were 11 or 12 is when I looked at you and you're like, but Mom, I have a B. Mom, I have a B. And you were crushed. And when you're like just breaking down because you had a B, I just was like, it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. You're not perfect. I don't want you to be perfect. I want you to be happy. And I want you to be you. I think you just had that fear of not being with the same age group or not being with your class and being left behind. You always had that fear with your classmates that you were left behind. Are they gonna forget about me? So I think that kind of started the anxiety a little bit, is around that time when you were like, okay, is he gonna forget about me? That anxiety started off very small and then it just started to grow. And at some point you stopped inviting the friends, and I think that's when you really start to shut down, and I think that hurt. Not only you, but me, because I could see you shutting down. I just felt bad because you should have been able to be carefree before you hit 15, 16.
So like I worked since like I was basically legally able to. I had 2 jobs there for a while.
You know what? Mom did the same thing. I had 2 jobs in the summer.
Do you remember the Bay Beach? When we went to Bay Beach?
I do. Yeah. I mean, I used to take you when you were smaller, obviously, and you're not a big person for amusement parks. But I just thought with you working so much, we weren't seeing each other. So I was like, you know what? Let's go to Bay Beach. During that summer, you were working. So that was we were stuck. Literally stuck in a Ferris wheel. So that's all we could do was talk. And we finally reconnected and touched base. But I wanted you to be a kid. Because I always say, you have the rest of your life to be an adult. And I wasn't able to be a kid. So when I saw you doing what you did, I applaud you for it. But my biggest thing for you, and even to this day, because even though you're technically adult, I wanted you to be a kid and really just enjoy life. And then I think after we had that conversation and we got off the Ferris wheel, then we started to ride some rides, which I never thought you would do. There was a laughter that I hadn't heard in a while. And that was that carefree laughter. And then I think when we had the lunch outside and we were able just to look at the lake and just take a moment, I could see that you just kind of was like that pressure, that your mind of constantly going, just like Mom's, my mind is constantly going, just was like gone, and you could just relax.
One last one.
Sure.
How would you describe me now?
Well, smart, beautiful, kind-hearted, an amazing soul. A worry wart. but that you get from your mother. Our sarcastic ass sometimes. But you get that from everybody in our family. Papa, me, Auntie Amber, Dad. Creative is one. That's for sure.
You're weird. Say bye.
Bye.
Go back over there. Now wave bye.